Time to travel with Karen Key.
Well, watched over by a metal cutout of Nelson Mandela, Route 67 in Port Elizabeth is an exciting trail that combines the best elements, both historical and modern day, of the people and culture of the Eastern Cape. It also pays tribute to Madiba's 67 years of service to South Africa. Well, to tell us more, I'm joined now by Lynn Haller, Operations Manager of Umzantsi Afrika Tours. Lynn, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Karen.
Well, reading through what is on offer on Route 67, I was surprised that not too many people seem to know about this.
Yeah, it is a reasonably, when I say new, it's not so new, but, not everybody is into the art. But if you are, it is a brilliant walk. And what I do on my Art Route 67 is I do also include a bit of the early history of Port Elizabeth, because there are also monuments and beautiful statues and that in the centre of Port Elizabeth that also form part of that art. So I just, combine it all. But it is a beautiful walk from the Campanile, starting, in Strand Street in Port Elizabeth and wending its way up onto the Donkin and into Central Bird Street, etc.
Well, I was going to say, when you mentioned art, I was going to say, gosh, I've been looking through the program and there's a whole lot more than just the art. There's so many things to see that I don't think a lot of people are even aware of all these things.
No, they aren't, eh?
And
I think we need to market it a bit more and, sort of make people aware of what there is out there to see. And it's interesting. They've done a fantastic job of with all these beautiful art pieces.
Well, I mean, just one thing is start quite near the start, because you can say that you can start your journey in the Donkin Reserve at Belmont Terrace, and there's the old lighthouse there, and the terraced cottages, and all sorts of old Victorian churches. So there's all of that, the architecture and the whole
architecture. Yeah, the
fabulous.
Architecture in Port Elizabeth is fantastic. We've got such a wide variety of architecture in Port Elizabeth, and it is amazing, and it's a huge door card, for our visitors that come to Port Elizabeth.
And the one thing I really didn't know was that you have the largest South African flag in the world.
Yes.
Where is that?
Yes, it is the largest.
Where is that? And that's on a hilltop somewhere.
It's on the Donkin, and our soldiers from the Prince Alfred Guard in Central, they're about 2 blocks away, and they march through in the morning, and they hoist this flag, obviously with the help of a mechanism. It's all motorized, and then at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they drop the flag again. And sometimes when it's very windy, they have to drop it earlier because of the damage to the flag. It costs a fortune to repair, of course.
I mentioned at the very beginning that there's a large metal cutout of Nelson Mandela. It's very symbolic, this piece of art. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, it's a lovely cutout. It's done with a laser cut. And it's Mandela standing, with his arm raised, and of course with the children next to him, and it forms the voting line. So you've got Mandela standing, and you've got the children. He always has children with him, with the doves of peace. And then this line wends its way around the side of the walkway. And it's people of all walks of life. But it's all done in this laser print, and it's brilliant the way it's done, because you can actually see the different people. We've got Gogo in the wheelbarrow, being pushed along to the voting row. We've got child playing on the ground. With their parents, all in the voting row, and it's really beautifully done.
So this basically represents the first democratic election in 1994.
Yes.
And the one thing that absolutely fascinates me are these silver pipes that you've got.
Yes, that represents the stream of the Donkin Street, represents the flow of the water, and it does, when the wind blows in a certain direction, it sings through those pipes.
Sure. That must be so unique. I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that anywhere else.
Yeah, no, it is beautiful. And what I also like is the whole mosaic picture next to the pyramid. And to really see it, if you climb up the lighthouse, which costs 5 rand.
Wow.
You climb up to the top of the lighthouse and you get this beautiful view of this mosaic. But when I take my visitors there, I explain the whole mosaic to them, because it all tells a story. It starts off with a picture of Elizabeth Donkin, and you've got the first circle is your ethnic groups that were here in South Africa originally, and then it goes on to the landing of the settlers. You've got the Chapman and pictures of the settlers on the, with their ox wagons. Then we go on to agriculture, farming. We go on to our fruit and vegetable producing. We go on to our motor industry. We go on to our shipping, and then it ends off with our wildlife. Animals.
So people who think all Port Elizabeth is about is the wind, there's a whole lot more to PE than the wind.
No. We've got lots to offer. Lots and lots to offer.
It sounds amazing. So now just tell me about this route itself. It's right, you actually, Umzantsi Afrika Tours does the route, so people can book with you to do this.
Yes.
I'll give out the numbers and everything at the end of this, but when is the best time to come and do this now, Lynn?
Well, anytime. I get students come in. We do it in the morning. I would say morning is probably better than in the afternoon somehow. I don't know why, but we do it in the afternoon as well.
Any time of year, though?
Yes. Oh, no, any time of the year. No problem.
Okay, and how long does this take if you want to do the whole thing? Is it one of those things almost like a hop-on, hop-off bus where you can stop and start?
No, we start off. If they come with, if there's more than, if it's a group, then I always ask them to be dropped at the Campanile, and we start at the Campanile, and then we ask the bus to wait at the Donkin. And then what we do is we start at the Campanile and we walk up onto the Vasili Mini Square and look at all those art pieces, look at the buildings, talk about all that. Then we go up past St. Mary's Church, up the steps. We go along on the left-hand side to White's Road to show them the taxi artwork on the wall of White's Road itself. And then we come back, we go up onto the Donkin, we walk up the steps, over the voting marks, which are crosses on the walkway with names, which were people that they just took off the street in 1994 and asked them to come for the first voting. But, this was, of course, done a long time after that. But they asked them to just put their names there. So it's just random people that they took off the street when they did the artwork to just put their names there to symbolize the democracy. And that winds your way up, and then we're up on the Donkin. We look at all the various artworks there, and then we look at the mosaic, and you've got the lady with the chair, which is a conversational piece, and the voting row. There's so much to see there. So I would say I normally bank on like 2 hours.
That's
2 hours
doable,
to do the walk.
So sort of a morning.
Yes.
Or an afternoon.
We start usually 10 o'clock, finish at 12 o'clock. But, I'm flexible, if it depends on... I have groups coming in and they want to do it from 11 o'clock and then finish and have a lunch at the Phoenix Hotel, So, it's really, I just accommodate the folk as and when they would like to do it.
And the Phoenix, that dates back to 1837. So,
Yes,
the history is just
hotel,
fabulous.
Yes.
It must be an amazing sort of step back in history almost.
Yes, it is. It's amazing. I had a lovely, huge group from America a couple of weeks ago. And we did the walk onto the Donkin, and we went down to the Phoenix for a lunch afterwards. And they absolutely were amazed. They were absolutely amazed. It just finished it off,
It sounds absolutely amazing. But now, what else does Umzantsi Afrika Tours? What else do you do?
We run tours throughout South Africa, overland tours. And we do actually quite a variety of things. I specialize in designing tours, especially for folks.
Okay, so you can actually help somebody just to make up their own tour, whatever they want to.
Yes, I've got so many days, and I want to say see the garden route, or I want to do from Johannesburg to Cape Town. I've got so many days. I've got a budget of so much. This is what I like. I want to see animals, or I don't want to see animals. I just want culture. Cultural interesting activities, or I want adventure, whatever they want, and then I design a tour for them. So they're then getting the tour they want. It's private exclusive. It obviously costs a little bit more because now you're not sharing with a group of people. I get a lot of private groups, like a group of 6 or 8 friends that come out, or families, that come out in a group and then and do the tour. We've had quite a few of those. And of course we do the self-drives as well. Guided and self-drives. We do a lot of day tours. My husband and I are both qualified guides, professional guides. My husband is born in Lynn, so he does a lot of the German and English tours, but he's a national guide. And I'm Eastern and Western Cape, but I do mainly a lot of the local tours because of my office. So I sort of like to be around a bit more, you know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I do a lot of the day tours in and around Port Elizabeth. And, of course, I'm very much involved with the Heritage Trust, Mandela Bay Heritage Trust and the Historical Society. And so, yeah, I just love my city and I love showing it off.
I love it. I love it when people love their city and passionate about what's there. And
Yes.
I'm so delighted that I found you and all these amazing things on Route 67. And I hope more people come and visit PE and go and have a look, because it's not, as I said, it's not something that many people, I don't think, know about this particular route. And I think because of the heritage and the amazing things on the route, it's something we all should be doing. It should be on our bucket list for 2015.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Lynn,
Absolutely.
it's been wonderful chatting with you. Thank you so much indeed for your time this evening.
Yes, and Karen, if you're ever here in Port Elizabeth, give me a shout.
I'll
I'll take you
certainly-
on Route 67.
I would love to see it. Thank you so much.
No,
Thank
just
you,
give me a
Lynn.
call.
Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Hey.
you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Lynn Haller is Operations Manager of Umzantsi Afrika Tours. And if you'd like to find out more information, especially about Route 67, really sounds like something we all should be planning on doing, you can take a look at the website. It's www.umzantsi.co.za, or you can call them on 041 379 1629.